Good morning, YouTube, or midday, or good lunch. I'm en route today to hit some of the car dealerships. We're looking for a new car for Mama. The two cars that we have now, we have my 2006 GMC crew cab pickup truck. Nice 6-liter V8. I hot rodded it. It's got cam, wide open heads, wide open custom exhaust all the way to the tailpipe. At one time was running an STS Squire turbo system. Yeah, that's right. I had a thing for pickup trucks for a while, and my thing was to take one and make it run like an old school hot rod. And that it did. Even after I took the turbo system off, it's naturally aspirated now. I had to reprogram the computer. It runs like an old school hot rod. It lopes and gutty exhaust, tons of torque. But at any rate, it's got 100,000 miles on it now. I did all that work on it. The cam, the heads, the exhaust, the programming, the tuning, the underdrive pulleys, everything I did to it. Ported, polished throttle body. Everything I did to it, I did back about 3,000 miles when it was new. And now it's got 100,000 on it, but it's still running strong. The big deal, though, is Mama's car was a couple years older than my Tahoe, or than my GMC. And she has a 2003 Chevy Tahoe. And that Chevy Tahoe is pushing about 200,000 miles now. And still strong, still in pretty good shape, although it's showing signs of stress. You know, it's starting to make some new noises and things like that. There's probably going to be trouble in the lifter valley before long. And basically, Mama don't like driving my big old gnarly pickup truck. So we need to get her and the boys, my kids, out of that older vehicle and put them in a younger, newer, more reliable vehicle. But me being the person that I am, I don't like to go deep into debt for every movement I make. So seeing as how my latest passion now is motorcycles, I'm willing to unload the GMC. So I'm going to be selling the GMC and using the proceeds from it to fully fund or near fully fund a newer car for my wife and the boys to use. That'll be the family car, and then I'll take over my wife's Tahoe, so I still have some towing capabilities and a vehicle still big enough to haul the family around when needed, but also capable of towing a trailer, transporting my PA system, and my band gear, and all that good stuff. So the Tahoe will still serve that purpose, and we'll get Mama and the boys a newer car, something a little more trustworthy that they can bump around in and out of town in and not have to worry about it. So I'll take over the Tahoe. Since I hardly ever drive my truck anymore, I'm almost always on the bike. In fact, unless it's really bad weather, I don't drive the truck, or I need to transport someone other than myself. I don't ever drive my truck, so it'd be the perfect semi-retirement mode for the Tahoe, and a good way to get Mama a newer car without breaking the bank. So I'm on my way to go look at a handful of these used car places up here. Some of the higher end ones, not high end cars mind you, but some of the used car places that are closer to dealerships. The dealerships selling their used trade-in fleets. I tend to trust those a little more. They seem to be in better shape than just your standard fly-by-night used car dealership or used car parking lot. So that's what I'm on my way to do. My bike is still dirty as hell. I was riding the infield all weekend, and I didn't touch this from Friday when it got rained on and splattered with bugs. It just means I use it, right? Right. Tucson Auto Mall. Let's ride through here and see what we find, huh? Thanks a lot there, buddy. Appreciate you not killing me. Coming over here because this place seems to have the numbers written on the windshield. And I like that a lot better. Look at all these people wanting to come out here. You think any of them are going to wait for me? Yeah, too many Kias for me. Well, I have to say, no matter how many times I stop and talk to people, I always get left disappointed. So it's time to go to CarMax. I'm off to go check out some of the little more low rent dealers. Try to pit my wits, mechanically speaking. Thank you. Well, I can't say I'm much surprised. I am definitely going to end up paying more for a car than I wanted to. They're just so incredibly expensive. Well, good morning, YouTube. And I thought I would go ahead. But I go ahead and conclude my vehicle search, new car shopping for the wife. As I'd mentioned, I was selling my truck, my 2006 GMC Crew Cab, and I'll go ahead and include a link to my car domain and give you guys an idea of all the stuff that I did. But yeah, no, at 3,000 miles I put a cam in it. I redid the entire interior to my liking. I put a cam in it, ported, polished the heads, intake, throttle body, everything you could imagine, and did it to that truck when it was only 3,000 miles. And it was a fantastic truck. I enjoyed driving it. It was one of those deals where, though, because of my interest in motorcycles has increased, that I was never driving that truck. Mama needed a new car, so it seemed to make more sense to get more value out of selling my truck and getting her new car than it did to just selling her old Tahoe, which is a 2003 Tahoe that had nearly 200,000 miles on it. So we sold my truck and we picked her up a much newer small SUV, a Nissan Murano V6. It's pretty peppy, so she'll be driving that now, and it's got plenty of room for two growing teenage boys back seat. And yeah, after a couple years we'll maybe look at something else, but for now I got them something that when they take it out of town up to Phoenix and to the conventions and shows and stuff that they go to up there, or when we want to do a little vacation out to San Diego, we got ourselves a nice secure vehicle to do that with that isn't pushing 200,000 miles. And that's what it's all about, is keeping the family safe. I'll take over the wife's old Tahoe, and it semi-retirement mode because I ride my motorcycle most of the time anyway. We'll only be using it when I gotta tote the kids around somewhere, so no biggie. Perfect opportunity. I didn't get as much as I wanted for my truck, and I had to pay a little more for the new SUV than I'd hoped. But you know what? We still came out a big win, and not too upset about it. After it was so discouraging after visiting all the different car dealerships, but one of them stood out, and that was at the Jim Click used car dealership. Jim Click is a local bloke here in Tucson, an entrepreneur, owns several car dealerships, and you know, I never thought I'd be buying a car from him, but as it turns out, man, they just had their stuff together. So a new enough car, it's still under warranty, but not so new. I had to chop off one of my arms to get it. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and post up the link to my car domain about my truck, because I imagine most of you are wondering why on earth someone would hot rod a crew cab GMC. Well, why do we do anything? Because it was fun, damn it. That truck was such a sleeper. I swear to God, it just looked like an old man's truck, but boy, it ran like a scalded ape. Ran like a scalded ape. There wasn't a Hemi on the road that could take that truck in its heyday. Oh man, it was hard to keep it in a straight line. When you started to lay it down, it would just go, it would turn sideways from all the torque. The back wheels would just start spinning. Anyway, had lots of fun with it. Almost as much fun as I've been having with the motorcycles lately, so it's all good. So anyhow, I just thought I'd wrap up the tale of car shopping, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Time for a nifty lane change.